Good morning to you. How are you doing? And welcome to Your World, the Tuesday edition. My name is Mikali Mary.
And my name is Winnie Lubaba. So good to see you on this. The sun is back.
It is.
Oh, Tulumia, but the sun is back. But I hope you're well. You've had a better start to the day. Welcome to the show. Always a pleasure. Let me tell you, it feels really good. Yeah. The gang is back. But it is well.
It's okay.
It is well.
It's
it
fine.
is well. The gang is back on Tuesday. And today, hey.
Uko sawa Winnie?
Mapenzi. Hey.
Mapenzi something. Tumefika. Na leo tunafungua chapter.
Ya nini?
Unajua mapenzi na machapter mingi.
Okay.
Hatuwezi maliza lakini leo ile chapter tuko hatupendi hata hatujui nini inaendelea. Una feeling ni kama uliacha kufunction hauko human. It's vulnerable, guys.
It is.
It's
we're
rejection.
laughing, but we're crying.
Yes.
Okay? Now tunaongea about to cope with rejection.
Yeah.
And heartbreaks.
Yes.
And
Where?
yeah, those ones. Okay, that is what we're talking about this morning, and that is coping with rejection, breakups, and emotional pain.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're also trying to understand self-sabotage after rejection, avoiding destructive coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
Because we all know, let me tell you, when heartbreak inakupata, hata ujuangi the destructive needs.
Whatever the body wants, whatever emotion, inanipeleka wapi?
Yes. Spirit.
It's an emotional pain, but it's almost physical. I can feel it.
It actually does.
Right?
Physical.
Unaisikia mahali. Ukiambiwa guza ni wapi? Utaguza.
Yeah, because it's like everywhere and nowhere. Everywhere. Okay, so that is what we're talking about today on the show on Your World on Relationship Tuesday. But before you meet our guest, like we said, the gang is back. We have a question for you. I really like this question.
I know.
I really like this. I sort of felt empowered, with this question. Okay, and the question is, you bump into your ex. While you're looking your absolute best.
Rarely does that happen, but it's okay.
What is your inner dialogue? Okay, you bump into your ex while you're looking your absolute best. What is your inner dialogue? Go through your brain. What conversation are you having with self when you bump into your ex looking your absolute best? You know the deal by now. At NTV Kenya across all board, give us a call. The lines are officially opened. But at the same time, use our WhatsApp number, 0112-500-400, and tell us.
We prepare for this speech.
Looking.
Girls, we know. We have it. It's written somewhere.
Yeah.
We know.
Yes, we do.
So tuambie,
yeah. No, we want to know. We're nosy like that. We want to know, okay? We want to know. And before we go through your feedback, our guests are already here. Wait, okay. As per usual.
Yes.
Tunaanza na wapi? Who do we have?
We have lovely to have you back. It's been quite a bit.
It has.
Yeah.
Mlinitupa tu kidogo. But you know, I've been traveling around the world, doing big things and stuff and seeing other people. Yeah, so, but it's good to be back. Good to see you guys. I always have so much fun when I see you. Yeah, and it's always an honor to hang out with y'all.
It's good to see you this morning. Miriam. She's just I mean,
dainty lady.
Yeah, good to see you, Miriam. Beautiful, lovely as always.
Be here.
Relationship. No, therapist. I want to say relationship, but also relationship.
Yeah.
That way, okay. Chemet
is back, guys.
We were asking, are we winking today? Well,
what are the signals? What are we looking out for?
Let's see. I'm neutral right now. I'm very neutral right now.
Okay. Yeah.
You guys will decide.
Yeah. Good.
Let's
umekaa karibu na bishop.
Unashika na upako. Niko karibu.
Upako positive.
Let's see. Bishop Grace Delizo. Ai mwangalie. Ai Bishop. Amina. Nilipata memo ya black.
Nilipata. Wengine hawakupata. Kama watu wako wanaomboleza. Sema basi celebrating.
See, it's the theme of the show today.
To bring the lights. We are dealing with heavy issues.
Exactly.
Rejection. And I'd just like to find out from her, because unajua leo tumewaita experts, panelists and all of that. Are they beyond heartbreak? Have they experienced it? What did they feel like? Did they have the tools? What was it like?
Yeah.
Emmanuel turudishe. Mnamo mwaka.
2000 na.
Oh, you see 19?
19. Something.
First of all,
Yes.
let me first answer the question of the day.
Okay.
Because I really want to answer that question.
Go. Yes.
If I meet my ex, I will be introducing her to my snack. And look what the Lord has done. That is what I'll do.
Already ametuambia ni yeye alitupwa.
Kwanza, it's not you, it's me.
The famous line.
That statement
It's not about you. It's not you, it's me.
Then what did you do?
I think back in those days, I know back in those days, I was just a goody two-shoes, very kind, gentleman, and it was not giving what she wanted. What a bad boy. I'm boring. So that's what happened to me.
No.
But look, we're here now. We started from the bottom.
Now we're here.
Okay.
Chebet. Why?
It is the year 2018.
Oh, 2018.
It is the year 2018.
Oh, no.
That's the year we met.
That's the year
we met.
Yes, that's actually.
Yeah.
So it was right after I'd lost my mom.
Oh my.
So everything internally was
discombobulated.
shaking. So and then I finally met this guy who's bringing in all the fire, the juice. Like I'm looking for some flavor. My life got. And then I find her, and then I'm like, tashikilia hapa mpaka at the end of the day. Na kambia red flags because mepango viko barabara. Naziangalia hivi naziona, wow!
Ni red carpet.
Ni red carpet. I'm like, is that for me? Oh my God! Let me tell you guys, at some point I almost killed myself.
I'm sorry.
I got there. I didn't have any of the tools. I didn't have any of the support system. And I was the strong girl. I've always been the stronger firstborn. Tunazaliwangwa kama some systems already checked in. So I had to swallow a lot of those things. But ilifika a point I was like, what's the point of wasting oxygen?
Yeah.
Because to be honest, the only one thing I wanted from that person was not money, was not resources, was just come get me. I was in Sarit. And I was having the first ever panic attack I'd ever experienced. I had an experience while in Sarit that sent me to proper panic attack. And then I don't know what is happening. All I'm feeling is my heart is breaking. I can't breathe. I can't stand. And then if there's one thing I couldn't stand was shaming myself in public because we have an identity to preserve. So now here I am. My body is... I can't stand. I'm like, where's my knees? Where's my legs, guys? I need to get out of here. Who do I call? Boyfriend. Hello. The man tells me, Chebet, I can't hear you. I'll call you back. Yeah, all of us in this Kamukunji today, we're waiting for that call back.
Oh my God, no.
Sisi what?
To date. So, because of that, I was like, you know what? Yani hata attention siwezi pata, hata small mutu tu kunipatia. I know you're tearing apart. Let me just gather you and take you to a place where you can feel nothing. I was left there in my knees, in my tears, in my nose, embarrassing me. Nilika kwa nyumba, I was like, I could die right now. Like I could actually end this. Karibu niseme shit. Lakini sikusema.
Wink.
Both eyes.
So I was like, 2018 is a blur. If I'm to remember what that year was, 2019, I couldn't piece myself together.
Yeah.
And now here we are. And then let me tell you guys. Let me tell you.
She picked herself and collected herself.
I reached out to the guy and I was like, you know what? I forgive you. I took my power back, and that's what we'll discuss today.
Yes.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, taking your power back. But that was brutal.
It was proper one.
Yeah.
Proper one.
Miriam? Yeah, she's sitting there.
Well.
Excuse me.
Hey, my friend, got answer.
Let us cook.
Heartbreak brought a gift to the world. Do you know the heartbreak I got is the one that led me to do counseling psychology?
Really?
Wow.
Yes. I got heartbroken. I got dumped without being told I'm getting dumped. I didn't know those days what ghosting was.
Yeah.
I didn't know it existed, but this guy just stopped talking to me. And to make it worse, we shared classes. So this is a person I'll have to see
Every day.
every single day. Na hakwambia amekudump.
Yeah.
Unamwona tu huko kwa mipaka na mademu wengine hivi. Sasa unajiuliza ni aje. Nilijita mkutano. How I knew it was bad is I sat in one spot for so long. Watu wakaenda class, wakarudi, and a chick told me, you know, Miriam, I left you sitting here in the same position and you're still in the same position.
Are you okay?
Aliniambia hivyo, nilisimamia counseling office. Because we had a counseling office in school. That was my stop. And I went and said, I need help.
Yeah.
Oh no. That was my very, very first heartbreak. And for me, it's like, I think I had this fairy tale imagination of what a relationship can be. I had imagined all these things, and as you can imagine, us ladies, you've even planned the gown you're going to wear, where you're going to live, the picket fences, and then to disappear. Like there's nothing. In fact, it's better when someone comes and tells you. You know, it's over, then someone just ghosting you, you have no, you know, you're knacking your mind. What did I do? You imagine all the scenarios. Maybe if I smiled more, maybe if I was thinner. So hapo unaenda unaingia gym live, you know. So it kind of like, the first one really messes you up because of the fairy tale and the creativity, the imagination you had. But I became a counseling psychologist because I kusoma journalism. Kama nyinyi.
Yes.
Nikafanya double major, nikakuwa counseling psychologist because I really wanted to understand what is this, like what, you know, so.
So the positive coping mechanism, which will do that. Which will do that. Bishop, twende break alafu turudi. Bishop, atutaki kutuambia okay, wacha twende break, tunataka kusikia. Okay, so let's take that break, and then when we come back, we'll hear from Bishop. Ashaikuwa heartbroken, maybe early heartbreak mtu. You know, watu wasemi venye wali heartbreak.
Bishop inaka ali heartbreak. Bishop.
I can be a specialist on breaking people.
Break, and then we come back, we'll hear from Bishop as well. But also a reminder of the question that we're asking you this morning, and that is, you bump into your ex looking your absolute best. What is your inner dialogue? I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say, okay? We'll go through your feedback after the break as well. Do stay with us. The show is your world. There's so much to come on the other side. See you then.
Welcome back. Emmanuel is
So I found out later.
Yes.
There's a guy who was 3 years older than me.
Yes.
He comes from a well-to-do family. You know those ones where you're given car, you're given this, you can afford to take the nanny to a restaurant. Me, I'm showing up in a job, you know.
No, then you could space.
Let me tell you, alihama kole. Alihama kole paka kole yake. And changed even the major. I'm like, where? My friend.
Maybe they were meant to be.
They broke up 3 months later.
Change shule.
Martin.
Oh no. Yeah. Okay.
That's why I want to say.
Yes.
Meat.
Yes.
My snack.
Yeah, make it special. Listen, welcome back. Of course, the conversation continues even during the break. The show is Your World. It's Relationship Tuesday, and we're talking about coping mechanisms when it comes to rejection, heartbreak, and emotional pain and distress and all those things, okay? And our guests are already here. Let me tell you, conversations during the break. And one day we'll have a camera rolling.
We should.
Yeah.
I think we really should have a camera rolling. We must scare you when you end up talk out during the breaks. But the one thing that I love so far is that they've all been so vulnerable with, you know, Mahali, Karoho Kalini,
Hey, Bishop. Bishop.
Why are you taking me back that memory lane?
Watch out to Rudy, Bishop.
I met this guy.
Yes.
After university. And we used to speak Swahili, you know, since tumetoka Kitale. So we were speaking Kiswahili. He loved Kikuyu himself so much. I did not know that having finished college was a problem. And one day he was unwell, and I decided to take porridge and mandazi, chapati,
and understanding girlfriends,
cooked food at his business. And when I got there, he did not come out to see me. We had just dated like 3 months. He did not come out to see me, but I was in love with him so much, you know, first love. And he did not come out, and he told the sister that such food should be taken to a hospital. He's not in a hospital. What I did not know, he had taken my friend. He had taken my friend. So that evening, we used to walk home, although it was late, around 10 o'clock. I had stayed out all that time, hoping I will see him. I stood out. I was crying when the sister told me that, and I thought she was being malicious because the guy was so sweet. Then the guy did not come out, so I had to walk home. And he came past me with his pickup. 5 or 4 pickups were the in thing. I want to do family. So he passed me and went to our neighbor's place. And I could hear them laughing before I got there. And mentioning my name. Do you know I had to take a route that was so dark, so dangerous, in order to get to our home. As if that was not enough. After that, the girls began to wait for me on the way, lay me, and beat me. I'm telling you, you're already heartbroken, and now you are being waited for and beaten by people you don't know the reason. So I went through that. It was very difficult. I stayed home. My father started taking a taxi for me and paying. But it was so bad. But all said and done, life happened. That girl was also dumped. And the guy took another one. Married. But the girl slept with the cousin who is a father. I'm telling you. Karma is real. So, right now, his blessed memories. But in my heart, I was saying, the way God will bless me, and he will see me. But when God blessed me, and I became what I was, I had no reason to look back. I realized the problem was not me. It was him. So it helped me reframe my whole life to know that I'm supposed to go forward, improve myself, and become better. And even when I did, you know, I had no reason to look for him. Really, he was down there.
Bishop,
there was no reason.
Bishop, look at me now.
He's not there even. But those who laughed at me now, they cannot stand you guys who are beating me because of that. I can almost mention that name. But it is well. It was bad. But all that reshaped my life. I became stronger as a person. I now stood a better chance of making a decision. And if things did not work, I checked out honorably. You know, we'll discuss and say, this thing is not going anywhere with whoever it was. But to get to that position again, it was bad. Nilichapwa mangumi. Narukiwa na makucha. Then I realized they were just jealous that I had finished my Form 6, and I had passed and I was going, no, I had finished my university, and I was waiting to be posted. So that was the whole issue.
Look at me now.
So, all of them combined. Tunaita hii kamkunji, mumesikia sasa. Nilipitia hapo to become who I am today. Please, I became stronger now. I can tell you. Tumesikia testimony yake. Amesema breakup will happen after 3 months. Those things don't go far. So you should not even cry at somebody has taken your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Give them time.
Oh my
Give them time.
I was not ready. Guys.
Really big one. The worst part was that. Baka wanasema watanidunga kisu. So my father said, be picking a taxi. Please. Once you get here, I pay. It was that bad.
Oh my days.
I was so traumatized, I'm telling you.
That's traumatic. But hey, you know what I like is the fact that all of you learned, I was about to say we learned something, like, but you all learned something from that experience and I mean, gifted to the world. And look at you now helping a lot of people. You might not be like, look at me and my money, you know, all those things. But Chebet, so then when it comes to coping, because at that time, it's like, your entire body is in pain, your spirit is in pain, your soul is in pain.
Why is it in pain?
It's just painful.
What happens? What is that science?
I really want to understand that. Like, you can literally feel your heart being in pain. What is that? I really want to understand what that science is, but also how were you able to cope? You know?
I was terrible as far as coping is concerned. I went to the farthest end of destructive patterns as far as coping is concerned. And there was a lot of things that I was dealing with beyond just this relationship drama. There was just a lot of things that I was processing. That I was suppressing. That's the better word. Because I didn't have any processing tools. I didn't even know where to begin from. And I love that there's such conversations happening right now for people to just hear, you know, from whatever platform that they're listening from. I was torn apart, and from the way I translated what was happening, I went into self-blame, into self-hate. And because it was piling off very many other stories I was experiencing, loss of a parent, and then we had had an hospital scare with my bro, and then work was also ridiculous. Like, things were just, there's a lot of things that was making that experience explosive for me. I was suicidal. I tried, guys, and that was the beginning of, if you understand spiritual terms, my dark night of my soul, because that's the time I really went through the gutter. And in that time, when I tell you I prepped to check out, I called the bank, the small coins I had assigned who to go to, unfriended people on social media. I just started disappearing from people's faces very slowly so that nobody notices what is happening. That's what I know about truly people who are depressed, proper depressed, and those who are suicidal. You don't hear them screaming about it. They will smile in your face. Kwanza, I hated my smile because I used to wear it as an armor. So I would smile on people's faces, and then I'm like, are you okay? I'm the one checking on people. I'm the one checking, making sure everybody's okay. But myself, uko ndani, ushaichoma makaa alafu venye uko kuna kanga after you've collected everything the way it looks. Like, it's just pieces of trash and scattered nonsense all happening in there. But it's true. As far as our science is concerned, it's that entire concept of reward and dopamine hits and all of that you get within a relationship. So when that is threatened, a part of you literally feels that your source of reward is being taken away. And you don't have a capacity of how to understand how to get back that high that you get in the relationship. So technically, it will feel like your heart is absolutely breaking apart. And mentally, the way our brains is structured is in such a way that whenever that threat is provided, is presented in front of you, you automatically go into, how do I escape this? How do I not process this? How do I not feel this? And for me, it was existence was absolutely nonsense. Why am I living anymore? Because it wasn't the point of it is material things I was asking. I'm beyond that now. I'm in the space I'm literally just asking for my heart to be held. Or even just for this one moment, just somebody else to show up for me, not me, somebody else. And then that call doesn't come, and it never comes, and my heart just went dark.
Because sometimes it feels like someone is like literally ripping your heart
Actually,
off.
it feels that way, which is why it's physically painful, because the truth is emotional pain has absolute correlation to physical pain. So when you're feeling emotionally torn apart, you are absolutely feeling it in the physical body, because why the release of neurotransmitters you're feeling in the body are the ones communicating the same thing that you'd feel when you're in pain. So your body is absolutely processing pain. So it is not a lie. It is people die out of heartbreak. People actually go ahead.
There's actually something called the broken heart syndrome.
Exactly. That's what I want to say. Yes, broken heart syndrome. And people die. It kills. It absolutely kills. I have enough stories of people who've died because broken heart syndrome. So it actually, you would die out of heartbreaks. So how to cope? I hope we talk about healthy things of coping. She was brilliant to think of going I was like, guys, why the hell do we breathe? What's the point of this life? I was done. I was like, hakuna point. I've seen what humanity can give. It's absolute nonsense. It's in the trash. I don't want this. I'm done. I want out.
But so a way to explain it, which one day just made a eureka moment for me, is, you know, when you choose relationship with someone, you give yourself to them. And it's almost like your souls come together.
It is.
And so a guy called Miles Monroe would say that when you divorce, what happens is two souls are separating. And those souls separating is painful. And it's just as bad as losing someone to death.
Agreed. It's even worse.
Because it's worse.
It's worse because there's no physical evidence of death.
And you know, death we see the person
dead. Them, they're gone.
I remember, like, you know, you said earlier on, my mom, we put her down there. We took soil. We did, and then all these guys with vigor came and covered her, and I'm just like, but that created a finality. But for this one,
there's none.
The person is still, you heard what she said, alipata mwingine, neighbor. And then those guys are the ones who are beating me.
It's
so much
and even just to your point about souls intermingling, it's the concept of, in a relationship, there's you, there's the other person, and then there's the entity both of you create. That entity is the child. If you look at it from the concept of father, mother, and son, bringing in the concepts of spirituality or religion in this conversation, it's your souls intermingling to create a whole new entity that is now the relationship. And that has a life of its own. That has to be nurtured. It has to be taken care of. It has to be, that's why you have to check in with your partner, because it's not just about the partner, it's the partner, and then there's you, and then there's the entity you've created. And it is that entity that tears apart. It is that entity that is broken apart. So, and then now when you come and look at the energetics about it, it's all about power. Relationships is all about power. It's all about the give and the take of power. So in healthy spaces, there's equanimity. There's, I'm moving in the masculine, today you're moving in the feminine. I'm moving in this space, I'm giving 100, today you're giving, exactly. So there's that dance. There's never like a straight line for balance. It's always a wave based on where people are in the relationship. But the thing is, when you're the one constantly extending your power, constantly extending your energy, constantly extending your essence, and you do that by worrying, going into your head, what did I do? What did I, is it my fault? And then now women, we want to fix it. You want to take the food, you want to take everything. Like you want to make sure that you're providing in addition to what they're not giving you. So you extend, So, and you'll even find some men, like the gentlemen like him, you'll find that they'd be the ones who would be extending because they're like, I love this woman. I see a potential in us together, but she's not seeing it. Let me do an extra. Let me do this. Let me give her that. Let me give it the other.
The balance part of it, then how do we get to that point in a relationship where we say this relationship is balanced, where there's no one person doing more of the extending as compared to this other person, that then they have more, the other person has sort of like more power of, how do we get that? But I'm also curious about your story in terms of, so yes, there's that heartbreak and then you kakimbia counseling room, but yeah, in even this period, were there things that you did, because you mentioned going to the gym, trying to look, you know, because of the maybes?
Yeah. Like what she's saying, you go back to yourself, self-blaming. Maybe if I was more vibrant, maybe if I was, because we had, what was so heartbreaking about that relationship is that we were friends. We were friends, and then we also had healthy banter, healthy competition. We used to compete in class, who's doing better in math, who's doing this. Like we used to study, do things together. So it was not just about the chemistry, but it was more of the gelling, more of the activities that we're doing together. So that's what now made me question, like, maybe if I was less competitive, because like one time he'd come number 1, I'm number 2, the next time I'm like number 1, there's no way, you know. I was like, maybe if I was less competitive, maybe if I was less, I was smaller, because I was really, really big, like, you know. So I'm like, maybe if I was a bit smaller, let me go to the gym. Because the girls now he started going out with, who were my friends, by the way. He left me for a friend, and they only lasted a month. But I'm not justifying for him, but this friend is the type of people who want what you have. That's the kind of friend I had. So she kind of wanted him because I had him. So when she got him, she dumped him a month later. So now you're seeing her, you're like, she's tiny, you know, she's well endowed in the right places, small waist. Me, I'm just one big round, you know. I'm not saying I'm not saying it in a bad way. That's how I thought. That's how I thought. I'm like, I'm just one big bubble, you know, there's never no waist and everything. So those are the things I thought about. But let me also add that coping skills for breakups. Breakups are as bad as, I'm taking us back to where we came from. Breakups are as bad as your attachment style. They are as bad as your attachment style.
Okay.
And your coping skills can only go as far as what your attachment style is. As a person with a secure attachment style will be like what she's saying. She will look at herself and be like, well, she'll still hurt, but she'll be like, while it lasted, it was good. It has nothing to do with me or with this person. The relationship just didn't work. It crumbled. So a person with a secure attachment will know, they'll cry about it. They're very self-aware. They will cry about it, but they will also speak. They cope by speaking to people who are close-knit with them. They'll be like, this person did this. And they're not talking about the person or shredding the person to pieces or shredding themselves. They're talking about the breakup, the event. This is what happened. This is how it crumbled. Oh, by the way, now I'm seeing the cracks. I should have seen this while we're in. So they're healthy enough to separate themselves from the situation. An anxious person are the ones who cope the least because they look at themselves. They behave the way I behaved. That time I was anxious. I should have done. Maybe if I was like this, maybe. So they get angry towards themselves. They will never look at the cracks of the relationships. It's more them. And then because of how embarrassed they are, most likely than not, they won't go out and tell people, this is what I'm going through. When I went through my heartbreak, I never talked to my friends about it. I never did. Because I'm like, Sasa, already I'm ashamed. Sasa wataniona. I'm trying to cover the dignity, the small thing I have to protect. So you won't talk to your friends.
You know what? You know? And I'm sure there's so many people who are sort of like in that space where you don't want to tell anyone because, you know, it's embarrassing, it's this, it's that, they'll judge me and whatnot. When we come back from the break, then we'd want to understand, is that even healthy in itself? Like, unajifichia, unajinyamazia because, you know,
nitapona peke yangu, nitafanya kila kitu peke yangu. And rebound as well, the need to just probably be loved again, if not by them, then by somebody else.
That's an anxious attachment. The one who will want to go back to the same person just to have the status quo.
It doesn't matter what they did.
It doesn't matter.
I just need them back.
Make it closure.
It's not closure.
It is closure. No, it's just you trying to maintain the shred of dignity you feel. Like you just,
wacha twende break because sasa umeguza nini hapa kidogo. Wacha twende break. Then we come back, we'd want to really then understand more and also then focus on the positive ways of coping, if there is. Kwa sababu unaumia roho at that point. You don't even think about the positive and negative coping mechanisms. But even as we do that, as we take a break, remember the question of the day. There's one here who says, ex mgani. Which ex? Ex DP, ex boss, ex landlord, ex daddy. Maybe yeah, what? But yes, the question of the day is there on your screen.
You bump into your ex, the one you are in a relationship, not ex-landlord. While you're looking your absolute best, what's your inner dialogue? What are you thinking about saying to them? We'll be coming back with your feedback shortly after this break. Welcome back to your world. Relationships Tuesday is on fire. We're talking about dealing with rejection. And the question we're asking you today is, you bump into your ex while you're looking your absolute best. What is that dialogue? What is that dialogue? And y'all got lots of things to say.
Yes.
You got a lot of things to say today.
Yes.
So,
What's up, Nation?
What's up?
Okay. What's up? Okay, let's have it back on the screen so that we see. Hey. But this one says, hello, your world. Hey, what's that doing? Says, hello, your world. Nigga hapa from Nyeri. Mimi nimepitia so many rejections. Na sijui mbona. Na venye mimi nakuanga kijana handsome. Bado huwa nafurahia nikiona ex akiumia. Hakuna kitu tamu kama hiyo. Guy.
Anaitwa Zadi.
Asante. Okay. Hey, huyu anasema good morning, I'm watching your morning program of Fixing the Nation. Haya, sawa. Huyu ako na swali ya Fixing the Nation. Tutatumia fixers. Haya. Mwingine anasema today's discussion has left me in tears. I knew this guy last year September, been loyal to him, yet we haven't yet we haven't met. I hear his friends that he's outside the country, or from his friends that he's outside the country, but himself he's been telling me he works in Lunga Lunga, which I feel is a lie. He hasn't been open with me the work he does in many things. This is a guy that told me openly that he can't facilitate my lifestyle, yet I am not his wife. At some point, my gas was finished up and I thought of him as my refuge. He did nothing about it. Just the other day, he walked up to my feeling, to my quote, my feelings for you has faded away, hence we should end the relationship. I am totally heartbroken. I am not mentally okay.
Okay.
Hi. I am sorry.
Hi, I'm Melanie. I need some advice. Nimekuwa kwa relationship, but the guy used to cheat. And when I asked question, he would say that they were just friends or schoolmates. Nikamsamehe, though it wasn't once. So after some months, I got pregnant and told me that he wasn't ready and told me to abort the baby. And when he went forward, he wasn't, and he went forward kutumia baby mama pesta abai pills. I was shattered, but I got a miscarriage. I decided to stay, but your time was healing, and for now I'm okay, no feelings, no nothing. So I have someone else. So I may find out, and he's furious, and I said he changed because of me. Na akachana na madem alikuwa now. Don't know if I did the right thing. You did the right thing.
Yeah.
You did the right, like, can you stay away?
Right. Stay away.
Hey. Okay. Hi, I am new in the show. It's now 2 months since I left the toxicity of my ex. He was a cheat, but the worst happened when I got cancer last year. And let me tell you, he even brought the woman to the house to see how I look. Jeez. He stopped providing. He became so toxic, irresponsible, and really made my life a living hell. Nobody knew. Got depressed and almost committed suicide. But then the trauma my son experienced made me make the decision of moving out, and it has done lots of healing. The moment you value yourself, you start wondering why you settled.
Just give these people a hug. Okay, Susan? Just give you a hug, guys.
Yeah, okay. Well, this one says, thank you, Winnie and Mikali, for hosting your world today, and greetings to Bishop Grace Dalizu and the amazing panel, Emmanuel Gashanja, Gloria Chabet, and Miriam Mwangi. My question is to Askofi.
Yes, GD.
Hey, Chakota Pita GD from today. Says, how do you rebuild confidence after a painful rejection, especially when you start feeling like maybe you are the problem? Wow, okay. Hi, Mingina Semanini. Good morning. Following the discussion, the danger of some breakups, one may decide to go on a revenge mission, i.e. start to date 10 ladies or men at the same time. This is Mukobe from Kakamega.
Hey.
This one says, hello, your world, Nichalo from Nax. I was once obsessed with a girl and Maina. I saw that. Later she came back and now it's payback time.
Oh my God.
Hiya.
Oh yeah.
Oui. Payback.
My name is Collins Munge from Bound Forest, Kenya, and I think in terms of coping with rejection, breakups, and emotional pain, don't chase what walks away. If someone is willing to let you go, you should let them. A broken heart can fix your vision. The pain can clarify what you truly want and need. So don't cling to a mistake. Healing isn't linear. Take it one day at a time.
That was so good. Hi, Facebook. Kuna moja anasema huyu ni nani, Millicent Nalondo. Anasema, why? Thank God. Juu huyu angenipata nimechapa, angefeel he was the reason I was glowing. Haya, huyu ni Francis anasema you don't want to hear it, I promise. Ni kama vibaya sana. Haya, mwingine anasema Fox KE anasema nitampigia for an out, we catch up later. Hey, okay. Hi. Yeah, good times. To the good old days. Hi, mwingine anasema nini?
Rex Kimutai.
Yeah, anasema nini?
Just take her for lunch, nothing big, to see how good I am after she dumped me.
Because like I'm not out here struggling. Listen, I'm okay. I'm doing well. Maurice James said, "Why would I speak to him in the first place?" But I ignore people for a living, and he's not an exception.
Way.
Tukienda. Oh, you're nothing like you. Yeah.
I once did. I read Muigai.
Yeah.
I once did, and that's how I found out I was so over it. I didn't even care, even if I was not looking good. I just don't think I would have cared. This is a guy whose presence once melted me. We bumped into each other, and I just felt nothing. I didn't even look back after Tulipitana. Didn't even think about him after that meeting. I was just so grateful that I was so over him.
He's like you're non-existent. Yani hata napatana wewe na hata sikujui. Mutinda anasema nini? No business with an ex.
Yeah.
No business.
Teacher Muiro anasema play me the song. Ulisema siendi mbali.
Hapa ni wapi? Hey, Peter. That's a good one. Okay. But Peter, there was a question for you, and I think at Abiria you will touch on to it because that's what you did. Yeah. On the what was the question?
He was saying, how did I cope?
Yes.
Is it me the problem? That's a very valid question. I want to say, first and foremost, breakups are very painful. Because they are not only emotional, but they are also physical. And the pain you feel physically, for instance, if you are, burnt by fire, is the same kind of pain you feel when there is a breakup. And you are allowed to just accept the breakup, go through it, and if you are lucky, if you have strong circle, like for example, family, friends, they will help you. But one thing that I want to say about him, don't personalize the breakup. That's what I learned. Don't feel I'm the problem. If I were this, if I was that, if I did that, I'm the problem. I think the person who sometimes breaks away from you could be having issues that they have not been able to deal with or resolve. And therefore, the only way out, they want you far, or they reject you, or they resist you, and you feel like, oh, it is me. So I want to say he should not really personalize a breakup.
Okay.
The second thing, the last thing I would want to say, out of that experience of pain, that is the coping, he should reframe the experience and realize that I'm not the only one. This is something that happens in many relationships. Right now, even as we speak, there are those who are breaking up. Not one, not two. And life goes on. Life goes on. So what the person should do is take time, heal fast, before you can jump into any other relationship. Improve yourself. If you need to go back to school, you need to do something else, probably hit the gym or have new friends, you know, that you want to relate with. Do all that. Try to improve yourself. Talk to yourself. See yourself through the mirror and know that there's nothing absolutely wrong with you. And you'll move on with life.
I really like that. I'm also curious to hear what breakup looks like from a man's perspective. But Miriam, do you want to go first and then Emmanuel takes over?
I think I would just like to say, with coping with rejection, emotional pain, breakups, is like coping with loss, with any other loss. It is loss.
It's loss.
You have lost something. And first of all, it's very important to acknowledge that. You lost a love that you had. You lost the camaraderie that you guys had, a life that you had. You used to talk to this person every day. There's that voice. It's just like a person has died. But now, you know, they're still alive. You're going to be seeing them with another person. So it's very important for people to identify you are going to go through the 5 stages of loss, regardless. How you will go through them, again, is dependent on your attachment style. But you will go through the 5 stages of loss, which are, you know, there's denial, then you go through anger, then you go through depression, you know, the depression of feeling like I miss something, you know, then there's the bargaining. Maybe if I do this, maybe if I did that, that has to happen. Then comes acceptance. Acceptance is where this person is not coming back. It's either, like now what Bishop is saying, it's either I change myself, I better myself, I grow myself, I move on.
And not achieve revenge, like see me now.
And not revenge. Revenge is in the phase of anger. Because you're angry. And you're trying to do anything to get back at this person. And it's very unfortunate that many people remain there. And that's why you find where people have been heartbroken, they're going to kill the other person. Because you actually just stagnate in the place of anger. You refuse to completely go, how dare they? Like me, you're leaving me. So that's the person who will go and kill. But if you manage to move from the stage of depression, which also is very detrimental, that's where she was. And there are people, it's not that those stages go like in a neat pile like that. There's someone who will just no. There's just a person who will even start from depression. You know, you just sink into a depression, you just want to die. It just depends on where you are as a person, how you feel about yourself. Again, how you have dealt with previous rejections. Previous rejections and previous losses and previous heartbreaks. Because how you deal with a current heartbreak is completely commensurate to how you have been rejected before in your as a younger child. Your traumas, your past traumas. How you dealt with or did not deal with those rejection traumas as a child is the same thing that is showing up when you're older. Because you never learned how to cope then, and now you've grown up coping that way. So that's the same way you cope when you're older.
Interesting. Nyinyi mnakuanga heartbroken. Mnakuanga hizi steps amesema za driving mnakuanga nazo. Mmejikaza tu hapa. Hapa nyinyi ndo mna heartbreak.
No, but the truth is, I think men have it bad. And they have it bad for this simple reason. Growing up, we are nurtured to suppress our emotions. So we don't express our emotions. So anytime there's a heartbreak, we deal with it internally. And it messes us up, you know, badly. So this is why you find men drinking a lot, because it's a coping mechanism. You'll find them, you know, sleeping around, or you'll find them working hard. Like they'll get into their jobs and man, this is the ultimate production, you know, tool. Or they'll get into a hobby, but whatever it is to run away from that pain. So men typically will not deal with it, they will not process it, they will not express it. So you'll find we struggle to cry. Yeah, you heard what she shared when she was talking about the pain and the whatever. And your body is telling you something bad has happened. So the only way for you to heal from it is to let that pain out by crying, screaming, whatever it is. So we don't do that. We don't talk.
You don't talk.
We don't talk. We don't share. We don't express. We don't say. So everything is internal, and we really, really struggle with it. So it's easier for a woman because, you know, she will break up, And then she'll come to you, see, you're her pal. Girl. And you'll both.
We have to interrupt this video conversation today across Water State House.
We're really, really sorry. But we really have to cross over to State House right now.
The president is
live.
addressing? Okay.
Back to your world. We're back to heartbreaks and coping. And we figured out there are very dangerous, not good ways to deal. Do not self-sabotage, you know those things. But then there's the other side of things where we're really eager to find out what do we need to do when you're going through that heartbreak, when nothing makes sense to you. And all you want is to feel better. If there was a magic wand, me, I'd be like, nipeeni hiyo kitu, iishe saizi uchungu now.
Do you really want to feel better immediately? And those people who I just want to sit in that pain and sulk and just feel.
You know?
Yeah, and
that's healthy.
By the time you
that's
heal,
healthy.
It's like you
want to run. Like, kuna kapil neza finya hivi nisahau.
Very healthy.
Oh no, we want to stay in there and feel terrible and feel all those, like allow yourself to really feel it, so that by the time ukile siku na hiyo
ukisonga unasonga.
Mimi nitakuwa ni watu wabit hata sikumbuki ni wewe hata ni meet.
Really?
Yeah. But I also have another question. You see all these people got help resources. But I have a question. Like, is a teeny tiny bit of unhealthy coping mechanism, isn't that okay? Like a teeny tiny bit, because you see, at that point,
what is teeny tiny, Winnie?
Do you mean like ice cream, binging on ice cream?
Not leaving the bed for a couple of days.
Yes, or maybe a glass of wine.
I see you.
A glass or a glass and then another glass and
maybe
a glass.
The big glass, the big glass that takes one bottle. Winnie.
You know, or like just unhealthy. Isn't that like okay?
It's definitely okay. I think one thing that people forget to do when they're coping and going through a heartbreak is to give themselves grace.
Yes.
That's one of the first things to do when you're going through a heartbreak as coping. And what you're talking about is that giving yourself grace. I feel like indulging in a bit of something just to have that comfort for now, then go ahead if that's what you feel at the present moment. At that, so long as it's not destructive, you're not feeling like jumping over a building and now you decide to fly, you know. So just with reasonable means, within reasonable
like you
grounds.
find me with like a whole tub of ice cream, watch it.
That's how you feel.
Because that is what I feel
after
at that moment.
After that, to gym, I love utani.
The process that you're talking about, which I love what Chebet agrees, that it's actually healthy to get into that space. Because what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to feel the pain. You're allowing yourself to eventually, hopefully, grieve that loss and that pain and that, that separation. And then hopefully through that, you can begin to now process what happened. How did we get here? What was the issue in the relationship? What was the issue on my side? What was the issue on the other side? And then now begin to do the process of forgiveness.
Weird, because
I think it's the same as when you grieve over loss of a person that is in the family, your loved one. I think that period of crying, feeling self-pity, feeling what is going on, am I, even showering, not showering, staying in your bed, closing everybody out, I think is very important, because many times we tell people, don't cry, be strong, but there's nothing you can do to somebody to give them that comfort. You have to allow the process.
Intentionally choose to
experience.
You allow it,
not
intentionally.
For it to stop.
Like, not intentionally.
The thing is,
just like you're postponing.
you have gone through it, and you need to accept that you've gone through it.
Acceptance.
You see, you need to accept that you've gone through it, and it hurts and it's painful. And you need to grieve and allow yourself. What typically happens when you don't want to feel the pain, because again, it's painful. None of us wants to feel pain. We run away, so we never deal with it.
It's like sweeping it under the carpet.
Come back to haunt. Actually sabotage the next relationship.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And even sabotage
not just the next relationship, all the relationships. Because like for me, now all women are bad. all women are bad. Yeah, because this one hurt me, and she represents this entire whatever. I've not dealt with this issue, so when I look at you, like, hata huyu anaweza.
So suppression is detrimental.
You don't suppress.
True. The question you asked before addressed the nation by the president, that how do we actually cope? How do we deal with what it is that we are experiencing? And I wanted to bring in this perspective. So first things first is to ask ourselves, why are we dating? Because we always, why are we, even right now, even in this particular moment, it's very important to establish the reason as to why you're in a relationship in the first place. Most of us got into those spaces because society is escaping their past, looking for support, financial, economic. It doesn't matter what the reason is. Most of the reasons as to why we find ourselves in relationship is already distorted. So if you're building something from a broken ground, there is nothing that you can expect that would be better, that building will not be supported by a flimsy foundation. So if your reasons for why you're in a relationship is not clear, I would highly recommend maybe don't get into one, because it will end up with the tears. And this is the reason it will end up with tears. It's because every relationship is a contract. Every form of relationship we have with friends, the president to the nation, you and I, you and your partner, all of it is a contract. And all of those contracts have a very specific reason as to why we are in them in the first place. Either for growth, either for learning, either to release a karmic loop that you have in your soul that you need to clear, either to learn something that you need to learn. And I promise you, you will not escape what your soul has to learn. You will have to go through it. So then the question is, not dancing in the question of how to deal with heartbreak, is asking ourselves, what is it that my soul desires so much to learn, so that when I'm in a space where I'm broken, my heart is broken, I don't automatically see the other person as the enemy. I start asking myself, they are my mirror. They are mirroring something that I'm carrying that I need to learn in this moment. What is it? Because the moment we start getting ourselves out of this attachment, because chemistry is not a semblance of connection. Does not mean that there's connection, but the truth is, you will meet people and you'll be like, ooh, Aneza, they can get it, because that's chemistry, right? And attraction is important, but then attraction does not mean that you guys belong together. But most of us confuse, when I see somebody and they can get it, automatically they are our partners. But the truth is, potentially it's because you have a relation with that person. Let's say we were joking earlier, you have experienced something that I've experienced, so we have a bond. So if I'm not consciously aware of who I am, that bond is what I will use to connect myself with you. And that bond is already triggered, is already from a place that is not secure. It's coming from a place of wounds. So if I'm in a space where I'm bonding with somebody from a wounded perspective, sweetie, there's nothing you'll get out of that other than a heartbreak.
So
what are you learning? Most of us come with a deficit, and we're hoping this other person
will fix it, but they will never fix it. So that's why I sit in the self-mastery seat. Because the truth is, if you don't know who you are, then we lose what we ever could bring in a relationship. Then we lose what you could ever learn in a relationship. And the worst part is, we live in a world that is consumerism world. We've reduced the value of relationship to just transactional. You bring this, I get that. You bring this, I get that. Right? And the people who end up getting really torn apart are the people who economically within that relationship, they have very little to gain. So they are the ones who are holding on so tightly. And energetically, you're holding on to something so tightly, that person is like, niachane, just don't touch me. Umenishika sana. So they want to be out of your space as quickly as possible, not because of anything, but because energetically go to this idea, nimeachwa, usinitoe, sina hii, sina chakula. So they're feeling that weight of your energy on them. The same way, any relation between president and the country, you and your boss, you and your, every single time you're in a space where you're the constant needy one, that person will always feel it, and it will be overpowering to them in as much as it is to you. So you're there saying, oh, I'm the one who's the victim, he is the this and that and the other, but the truth is, that dynamic couldn't exist if the wound within you was not present in the first place for that lock to happen. So until we start looking at ourselves and ask ourselves, hey, Chebet, am I really ready to date? And then you're like, actually, no, genuinely I'm not. But I'm happy to have people around me. I'm happy to, I'm happy to connect with people. But also, maybe we'll have another conversation where sex is discussed. But truthfully, when you look at the dynamics of when that intimate connection happens, that's it. That's when souls are bound into one. Because it is through that act that a soul is tied to another. And when that is no longer present, even in marriages, very many people are married and they're single. Many people are married and they're in pieces, right? And it's because we have that bond, but it is not strong anymore. It is not there anymore. It is dying, dwindling, completely shattering. And you can't figure out where the problem is, because we are more than just physical beings. We are mostly energy. We are mostly spiritual beings. And when we don't put account into consideration that one individual can never meet your soul's needs. You need a community. You need to be able to be surrounded by people who you can speak to Emmanuel about this. Maybe I need to speak to Bishop about this. Or maybe I need to speak to Winnie about this and the other. Maybe I need somebody to banter. Now, we all want to put all that weight in one individual. It is impossible, guys. It is so heavy for one person to be able to do that. So it's first, get your shit together. Know who you are. Must understand yourself and understand your gaps. I'm not saying heal them. I'm not saying process them, because most of these things are better processed in relationships. Some things you can't see the back of your head. You need somebody else to be able to see where you don't see. And relationship does that. And friendship also does that. Doesn't need to be an intimate relationship for you to see that. Any form of relationship can be a fantastic teacher for you. Just let's allow it.
Listen, we're winking, eh? We're winking.
There is something Miriam always says.
We're winking. But Bishop, I also want
there is something, before you ask me, there is something Miriam always says, and now it's synonymous with her. That you attract your trauma. You will always, and I've heard her say it in many different ways. But Miriam has always said, bottom line, you attract your trauma. And you have to be careful about that.
You really have to. But then you can only recognize that if you're aware of it.
Self-awareness. Which is why we have to take those lessons to be able to be brought into awareness. Or this is where a gap is needed. So when you're feeling heartbroken, there's nothing about you that is broken, but your soul in that particular moment is getting an opportunity to grow. So if you look at it like that this is a moment for me to grow, because every form of tear is an opportunity for a muscle to grow. So what is it that your soul needs to grow in that particular moment? Look at it in the relationship, and then never repeat it, because you'll end a relationship, get into another one, same lessons, another one, same lessons. Now everybody is terrible. Men are dogs, women are liars, all of those nonsense. Because
also add that relationships are flawed. Just as much as human beings are flawed. So a relationship is as flawed as the people in it. And there is no day will ever be perfect unless we've become God or we're joining God. There's always that room where we are given to keep growing, to keep advancing. As much as I know myself right now in this relationship that I'm in or have been in, when I go to another relationship, there will still be more to learn. Maybe this is the person who's going to push my button so much, and I'll realize, I have tempers. Whoa. You know, because I'm just a lamb, I'm so mean. But there's someone who will come and push my buttons for me to actually see there's something that I need to work on. Because speaking spiritually, so long as we're here on this earth, we're here to learn, we're here to grow, and when that experience ends, we go back to where we were supposed to go back to. But we're supposed to go back to where we came from, as original as we came. And the only way you become as original as you came is to be rubbed, clean, sandpapered, until you can fit in to the space where you came from. You've always realized when you're trying to make a piece of something with wood, you chisel it and sandpaper it until it fits. That's exactly what we're going through here. So relationships are as flawed as the people, and they will forever remain flawed. There is no way you will enter a relationship and it will be perfect from A to Z unless you're not real, you're not authentic. Something is wrong somewhere.
Someone is lying to someone.
Someone is lying, someone is pretending.
My hardest lesson, and I've been married shorter than you, 23 years. My hardest lesson is relationship was not meant to make me happy, but The word I use is to make me holy, to look more better, sanctified. And through that relationship, one, I have to remind myself that one, we are different in gender, and each gender is wired totally different. We're different in personality, and we have different backgrounds, and all these have shaped and formed who we are, how we think, the when, the why, the where, the who, the how, the what we do on a everyday basis. So the decision I make is based on that, and this human being is coming from a totally different whatever. So we became one. The day we said I do, but we spend the rest of our lives learning how to be one. And that learning how to be one is rough edges, rubbing against each other, and that friction it creates, oh my goodness, it's so painful. But I'll tell you this, much later, it's way more rewarding.
It's just that some people are not...
Don't could you enjoy?
Because how then do we go back to the basics? Because even the Bible says, like we were wonderfully and fearfully, made. And sometimes, like we've all said, we forget who we are. We forget who we are at the core, and just. It's like depend on your partner to define who you are, and you lose yourself. So then how do we find out? How do we go back?
There's something...
you don't forget who you are.
First and foremost, if you're a Christian, you have to realize that you're a Christian because you originate from Christ. You are born again, and therefore everything else has passed away. Christ himself was rejected by the very people he loved. The very people he had a purpose to save. But they are the people who rejected him. And after that rejection and pain, we see that he's killed. And what do we get out of the rejection? Resurrection. And that is what has become the power of Christianity. That the resurrection power is what keeps us going, because we as Christians believe when he died, we died together with him. When he was buried, so you are going through the pain with him. And when he resurrected, you resurrected, and that gave you authority to sit at the right hand of the Father, where we say is far above every kind of pain, principality, every kind of temptation and trials. I want to say this to a Christian, that the resurrection power takes us to this. When you are rejected, don't think it's final. It's not final at all. Because that rejection could come with a redirection. And what we are focused on, when you are rejected, then what? You don't go into a lot of, looking down at yourself and what have you. There is something that has been reframed from that experience and what we know biblically. That now you have been redirected into fulfilling your purpose and taking up territory. And that is what you have to look at every time you are rejected, because it's not only in a relationship that we are rejected. You can have a heartbreak from work, from a church, from your family members, but all that is not bad from the Christian perspective. We look at Christ and see the rejection he went through to death. And out of that death, the grave could not keep him. Because that rejection was not a place of finality. It was a place of purpose. And he rose again with a purpose which we cling on to as Christians. So I want to say every heartbreak has a redirection in it. It's a gift.
What you were talking about lessons, what lessons have you learned? And then how are you planning to use the lessons you've learned into the next one, right? To like your traumas.
But then she's also raised something else that we were talking about during the break, where the breakups are not just in relationships, and I know we've dwelt there because but then we also have like friendship breakups, which are also as hard. And when you mentioned church,
even church, many people have been hurt from church.
Because really, really deep heartbreaks. So do we deal with such other breakups the same way we deal with the relationship?
Do you know what I think? I think in a relationship it's like we somewhat expect. Could be me that maybe I'm toxic, but it's like there's that, like it can come at any given point. Maybe when we're still dating, when we're engaged, or maybe when we're married. Like something can happen that might cause people to separate. But when it comes to like friendship and family, you don't expect that to happen because this is like my family. This is like my people. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just the toxic.
I don't think you are. No. I don't think. Yeah. But anyway, the experts are here.
Yes. Help.
If you're a counselor.
Yeah.
You expect it anywhere.
It will come. That's a point.
As a human.
I think just in response to that, every relationship, as I said, serves a purpose.
Yes.
From friendship to your partners to the church to, because I was also a church girlie. Guys, I used to be the Mary Magdalene in every Christmas show. Right? So every relationship has a specific purpose. And there's a teaching that your soul, as she says, that we are walking from that death from into. And every death is a gift in my understanding. We're being asked to close the show. It's a gift towards what your soul gets to bloom into. So if you look at it from that perspective, that every end is an expansion in its own, then you get to understand that even the friendship that you end up losing, sit back and be like, okay, what was beautiful about this? What are the lessons I get to learn about this? How do I become a better person from this experience? Because the worst thing is, as she said earlier, getting stuck in those stages of growth, getting stuck in the grief, getting stuck in the anger, getting stuck in the regret, and all of those things. It doesn't help anybody. And we all have a responsibility to humanity. We all have a responsibility to humanity to help elevate the consciousness of humanity. So if I'm stuck in my anger, all I leash out is anger. If I allow myself to start getting into space of forgiveness, to space of compassion, space of grace for myself first, because I can't give what I don't have. I can't give what I haven't given myself. So unless I'm able to give that to people around me, then the world will never get to experience what it would look like when you're talking about elevated kind of relationships. Because as she said, yes, the current structures we have of relationship are flawed because humanity currently is flawed. But what did it look like when you start to truly come into spaces of being value-led instead of desire or ego-led? What would the world look like when the world is moving from value systems-led vis-a-vis ego systems-led? Because in that point of view, then humanity will not be as flawed as it looks like when it's ego-driven. Then at that point, I'm drawing in people to my life who our values align. That even when we clash in that space, we have the capacity to sit down together and be like, you know what? Something is amiss. What is it? Can we discuss it together? Then at that point, if we don't fight individually, then we're not fighting as communities. We won't be fighting as a globe. But it will have to start with how you fight and nurture yourself. Because if I tell myself, I promise you, I look at her, she looks cute, I'll have a comment about it. And you dish that around to everybody, right? And that's exactly, because your heart people hurt people, and heal people do the healing as well, right? So
oh my days, listen, to me extent. Where you bad this at this point. But this conversation doesn't necessarily have to end here. The friendship, family, breakups in church, I think that's a conversation that we need to have in itself, because hey, have people been hurt? Absolutely. Then again, how do we move forward from that? But to say my goodbye, asanteni sana.
Thank you so much.
Interruption kidogo, but well worth it. Well worth it. Yeah, conversation was well worth it. To nini next week, sindio?
I think repeat.
We'll circle back, right? Yeah, we'll circle back to that. Yes. But for now, we have to say goodbye. And of course, earlier on, just a few minutes ago, we saw His Highness, that is Prince Rahim Aga Khan V, who is on an official visit to the country right here in Kenya for a 3-day official visit. We saw him earlier on receiving the highest
civilian honor you could ever get. Chief of the Golden Hat honor.
And of course we saw him, right? We saw him receive that, at State House, in Nairobi by President Uhuru Kenyatta. Of course, not Uhuru Kenyatta. Why? President William Ruto.
Yes.
You know? President William Ruto.
Yeah.
And of course, they also signed 2 memoranda, you know, today as well. But he also, you know, addressed, you know, the nation. And we get to see that now as we say goodbye right here on the show, Your World. My name is Winnie Lumbembe. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I am Mikali Mary. Have a good day.
And we leave you with that clip.